Welcome to Johnson & Wales University. As parents, you're about to embark on a wonderful journey, a journey of discovery. Many of you are taking this journey for the first time. In order to give you an idea of what is ahead, we spoke with parents whose children have attended or are attending Johnson & Wales University. Their insights on being part of the Johnson & Wales family will serve to enlighten and inform you about what lies ahead.
Well, initially, I think any parent is concerned about the transition. You want to make sure that your child fits comfortably in the new environment. And by fits comfortably, I mean, gets along well or has some kind of rapport with his or her roommate, knows where he or she needs to be and at what time they need to be there and how to get there.
They're going to be easy to drop off and leave, or there's going to be that very emotional crisis. I think you just have to leave them. And my rule always was, particularly during the first years, that regardless of the cost, we're there. You call us day or night anytime you need us, and don't come home until Thanksgiving.
Don't come and see your student every weekend. Wait until probably Christmas or the first natural break in the semester or the trimester before you see the student. Students have a very great burden when they have separation anxiety, and I think that one way to prevent that is to send news from home in terms of a newsletter or a local newspaper from the hometown. I think it's very great to write letters and to email.
The advice I gave Jason was just remember everything that I told you. Get good rest, choose your friends wisely, study hard. You are a student. That is your occupation right now.
He's learned from me that he has to open up and ask people and find that the people are responsive. Nobody's going to know what you're thinking, but if you open up and say, can you help me here? Can you direct me this way? I have found personally, no matter who I've spoken to, whether it was Nancy or Marco or Joe Perry or numerous other people I've spoken to, have all come back to me in a relatively short amount of time with an answer.
At this age, what can you give your child? They listen to about 50% of everything you say. I think safety when they're in a city is something that you need to say every single day and let them be annoyed at you and let them turn off. But if they hear it 50% of the time or 30% of the time, maybe when they're involved in a situation, that will be the one thought that comes to their head.
We have to certainly be very aware of the situations and circumstances that go along with some of the less savory kinds of influences that the city does bring. But I think we do a good job, we being the university, does a good job in alerting our students to the hazards of living in an urban environment.
There's safety in numbers, but you have to know who the parties in the number are. You have to get to know the individual and travel with people that have your same values.
It's a challenge because students are in, a new environment. They have new independence. There's no one there to check on them as mommy and daddy used to, or as in high school, the principals and guidance counselors, etc. So from that standpoint, I think parents need to understand that, yes, it is going to be a new experience both for their son or daughter as well as for them, and that the toughest adjustment might be just them letting go.
Right in the beginning, at the end of August and the beginning of September, your child's life is changing, but your life is changing so much. And for those first few weeks, it's almost like, how did we get here? And this is now this void. The joy is seeing them come back for Thanksgiving or Christmas and see that next step in their maturation.
No, he's quite excited. He's just, obviously a little trepidation of what the other three guys are going to be like in the room. I says, look, they go through a lot to screen you. You're going to be in a quiet dorm. You're going to be in a dorm where there's more students that want to study, that want to party. Probably the people that you're with are all going to be in the same program with you. So you should hook up with some pretty decent people. I said, and if you don't, well, you know, you got to handle it the best way you can. Either get your room changed or, you know, just deal with it until the end of the term.
My first day during the academic year for Jason was when I called his room to speak with him, and his roommate said, well, Jason's not here, but someone told me that he cut himself in class today. By the time I reached the hospital that had treated him, the school security who delivered him to the hospital for treatment had also brought him back to campus, and he was safe and sound.
I think you need to know as much about your son or daughter as a student as possible. Know who their academic professors are, know who the department chairperson is, and when all else fails, for anything outside of the classroom, the dean of students can be an office that can be called, and we will then ferret it out to the appropriate department and or person.
Welcome to Johnson & Wales University. It's going to be a great 4 years.